In this short video, I'm going to demonstrate using your Foliotek account to build any portfolio that's required of you through the Thomas Edison State College program that you've enrolled in. Most students are first registered into the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio, so that should be the portfolio that you see when you first log into your account. If it is not, and you see your program-specific portfolio, like the school building leadership or school district leadership portfolio when you log in, you can always switch between those by using the Change Add Portfolio link located in the left menu. But first, let's take a look at the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. This portfolio is very simple, as it only has one section in the left menu that you're expected to click on. So here we click on Required Artifacts, and we upload our beginning documents required in the Intro to Teaching Profession. To upload a document, we simply click on an element of the portfolio. The first one there is Resume. That's very easy. We click Add File. We can upload a new file from our computers, add an existing file if we already have it saved somewhere on Foliotek. We can add a presentation portfolio, and we'll talk about that in a little bit when we move on to the building leadership and district leadership portfolios. I can add a file, I can link to an external file or website by using a URL. That's very handy if I have videos that I want to link to from an external streaming website. Or I can zip a website and upload it as a file on my account here. We'll make our choice and click Next. We'll use Upload New File as that's the most commonly used type on Foliotek. Now when I click the Add Files link here, I'm taken to my computer directory, and I'm just going to choose a random file. Yours will most likely be a Word file if it's your resume. Once my file is successfully uploaded, I click OK, and then I can see it in this area of my portfolio. Continue this process for all of the rest of the required artifacts in the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. If you're required to submit an evaluation for this portfolio, those submission icons will be located under your current tab in the Evaluations area. Right now, there's no need to submit anything for evaluation out of the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. Simply include all of the items that are listed here by clicking Add File, and then you can request a review to let your faculty members know you've uploaded it into your account. Then we click OK. Your faculty member will get a note saying you've uploaded your file, and then they can go check your portfolio to make sure it's there. You'll not get any scores this way, but this will let your faculty members know that you've been working in your account as required. Now, let's take a look at the more specific portfolios for building leadership and district leadership. Okay, once again, I'm going to use the Change Add Portfolio link at the top of the left menu to switch between my portfolios. Here, I'm going to select the Building Leadership portfolio, but whether or not I'm in Building Leadership or District Leadership, the process is the same. I simply click on a section in the left menu where I'm interested in uploading documents. I either click on a container that's already been created for me, or I create a container of my own. I want to make sure I make it viewable by faculty, and I click OK. And then I can add files into that container here, just like I did in the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. To add documents into the Required Documents area here, it's the same as we showed in the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. I simply click Add File, and I can use existing file if I want to use the same resume, for example, that I used in the Intro to Teaching Profession portfolio. So here I click Add Existing, and I get a list of all of the files that I've added so far in this account. I can simply choose it and add it into this portfolio as well. Under Student Selected Artifacts in both the Building Leadership and District Leadership portfolios, I'm expected to add containers for all of the work that I'm going to add here. That's because I have to tell the system which ISLIC standard I'm covering with the artifact that I'm loading here. So let's make a new container. Make it viewable to faculty and click OK. Now I have to put the artifact for Standard 11 in here by going to my computer and uploading a new file, adding existing, and so on. Once I have the files loaded, I'll want to tell the system which standards I'm covering. It's very important that I align standards to these new containers that I'm creating so that I can tell the person viewing my portfolio or scoring my portfolio which standards I covered with these artifacts. Align a standard here and click OK. Now I can be evaluated versus Standard 1 using this artifact as evidence in my portfolio. Now I want to upload reflections for the standards as well. This area is a little bit different. Those containers have been pre-added for you. You don't need to create those containers and align them to standards. All of that work has been done for you. You simply need to click on an element and add your reflections into this area. If you click on the Standards tab, you'll notice Standard 1 has already been aligned here. There's nothing more that you need to do. For the final presentation portfolio section of your portfolio, you're expected to create a presentation using the Foliotek presentation tool and then embed it into your portfolio by clicking Add File. You'll notice here that you have an option for adding a Foliotek presentation portfolio into your assessment account so you can obtain a score on it. Let's cancel out of this for a second and go build that presentation before we upload it into the assessment area. So we click on Presentation, then we click ePortfolios. If you already have presentation portfolios built, you'll want to create a new one that you can copy over from your assessment portfolio that you've already created. You can choose a background and a layout. And then choose a content template. This is a very important part. If you wish to just copy the work that you've already created in your Building Leadership portfolio into a presentation. So if I scroll down through this menu, I'll notice that I have an existing portfolio here called School Building Leadership that I've already built in assessment. If I choose that, all of the sections of that portfolio are now copied over as pages in my presentation. Then give your portfolio a name. Hit Enter here, and I'm taken to the portfolio editor. Now, I can make changes to these pages if I want, but you'll notice when I click down here to make a change to one of these pages, I get the message that the link to assessment, which would copy over anything that I added in my assessment portfolio into this presentation, will be severed. If I'm okay with that, I click OK, and then I can tweak this portfolio and make changes that I want to appear in my presentation. So here in Student Selected Artifacts, you'll see that my artifact for ISLIC Standard 1 has been automatically copied over. It's there for me to use in my presentation should I need it. Maybe I didn't need all of these containers, so I can simply delete those. So here we can make specific changes to the presentation that aren't applicable any longer from the assessment area. In particular, I might want to delete that final presentation portfolio page because I'm making my presentation right now. I don't need a page for it in there, so I'll go to Pages and I'll delete this, and then it's no longer there, and I'll want to click Save so that it'll be a choice for me to add back into my assessment area. You can share this portfolio if you'd like, but it's not necessary if you're simply adding it back into your assessment portfolio for a score. You can come back to presentation later and share it with people like potential employers or someone in the university who's responsible for promoting you. Just really any purpose there is that you need to use a presentation for. So now that I've saved my portfolio, I'm going to go back to assessment. And I'm going to embed it into my assessment portfolio so that I can get a score on it when I'm evaluated. Here you'll notice Jane's presentation is already here. I'm going to remove that one and add in the one that we just created. Choose that one and add selected portfolios, and there it is. Now that I'm finished with my entire portfolio, I'm ready to submit it for evaluation. To do so, I'm going to drop down to the Evaluations area. Here's my School Building Leadership rubric, and all I have to do is submit my work for evaluation. If I want to check the rubric that I'm going to be scored on, I can click on the School Building Leadership rubric and check through each one of the standards and how they'll be scored when the faculty member receives my evaluation. Now I'm ready to submit. I need to pick my faculty member, and depending on the program, you might have more than one faculty member to choose from here. And pick that person, confirm the submission, and continue, and I'm finished. I've submitted my entire portfolio for evaluation. I just need to wait for those scores to be completed, and then I can check back in my completed tab and see how I did. If you ever need help using your Foliotek account, we have help tools available. We have live chat available 8 to 5 Monday through Friday Central Time. If you want to try to find your own answers on Foliotek, you can click the help area, and the frequently asked questions about the area of Foliotek that you're working in will pop up here. If you don't see the answer to your question, you can always contact us via other means. You can fill out this form, and an email will be sent to our support staff with your question. You can email us directly, again, chat online, or dial our support number with option 2 for technical assistance. That's it, and thank you for choosing Foliotek to build your school building leadership or school district leadership portfolios.